Mother used to sit by the wood and coal stove and read us stories and read us articles from the Ebony magazine, the Jet magazine, and the Pittsburgh Courier, as well as having us to check out novels at school. And because we were so hungry and we had nothing to eat, Mother would read to us until we would fall asleep, and one by one, Mother would take us and put us in the bed. 7 children in a 2-bedroom home. The boys slept on one side of the wall, the girls slept on the other. But Mother was a wise woman. They don't make mothers like that anymore. I wish that Barack Obama had a mother like mine. Because if he had, he would have watched the kinds of things that he said as he was campaigning. Mother taught me, and my mother was very strong on history. She was one of those mothers that she would whip us if we didn't get our schoolwork done. They call it child abuse today, but Mother would whip us with the ironing board. And she would not allow any of us to cut up in school. And so I watched my mother over the years, the wisdom that she taught her children, and it looks like I'm following right in my mother's footsteps. I'm an author of 27 books, co-authored 2 Bibles, the author of the African Cultural Topical Bible. My books, a 5-star rating on Amazon.com. They have been endorsed by the top history professors in the country. Benjamin Jealous of the NAACP has endorsed my book, The Drama of Obama on Racism. I have friends on both sides of the aisle. Some of the top Black Democrats in the nation consider themselves friends of mine. Mother taught me about truth. And in that truth, as I study, it really doesn't matter who it hits. Mother said, the truth shall set you free. And I've gained a lot of freedom by facing the truth in my studies and in my writings. Most of my books are research books. I have an extensive library at home. There is not a room in my house that do not have books. From the bathrooms to the kitchens to the bedrooms and everything in between. I have my own film library of historical films. I'm constantly doing research to search for the truth. If you read my books, you'll find information in there that you have never discovered in any of the history books. If you read my books, you will find elements of history that even college professors, when I lecture in college and universities, professors say, you know, I've never seen it this way before, but what you're saying is the absolute truth. See, I didn't even know, as we claim that America is a white man's country, I didn't know the number of blacks who fought for the freedom of this country. As a matter of fact, the first person that died in the Revolutionary War in fighting for the freedom of the country was a black man. And when I was back in Boston, they showed me the exact porch where he, after the redcoats came, and he was shouting, the redcoats are coming. And as he was retreating, they shot him in the back, and he stumbled and he fell dead on that porch. And Sears and Roebuck have restored all of those homes along the stretch of the bay where the first casualty happened in the Revolutionary War. I did not realize how many blacks freed blacks fought side by side with George Washington, fighting for the freedom of this country. This is not a white man's country. This is all of our country. And our people, black and white, have shed their blood. And that's why it's important for us to to preserve this nation, because too many of our people have died for this nation. We sit here today enjoying the freedom because young men and young women have died for this country. I'm writing a book right now that's entitled Teens and Young People That Impact the World. And I do a segment in there of the number of teenagers that died in wars. And during the Civil War, 234,000 teenagers died in the Civil War from age 13 to 19. If it wasn't for the teenagers, blacks would have never been freed through the Civil War. It was teenagers. And some of you know you were teenagers when you went into the military, with the Second World War, Korean War. You were teenagers. Some of you fresh out of high school. Teenagers are the ones who have secured the freedom of our nation, and we cannot let their deaths go in vain.